Assessing your organization's capacity is like getting your annual physical. It can be a pain, it's not the top of the priority list, but it's something that's vitally important, especially as you think about the new challenges you want to take on in the coming year. It's the same for assessing your organization's capacity. You've set stretching aspirations for your nonprofit as you seek out new challenges and new ways to support your constituents. But have you stepped back and asked the question, do we have the skills that it will take to succeed? What are the things we really need to be good at if we want to succeed in our mission? And what are the things where we can just be okay? These questions are really important, and not asking them means you can't formulate answers and move forward. So it's critical as you work towards this process to build buy-in from the leaders that will need to participate in this organizational assessment. You should think about who are the folks in leadership, who are the board members, and who are the staff members closest to the key parts of the organization to understand what's working well and where more work can be done. If you've got 30 board members, you probably don't want to ask all of them to step back and reflect on the current status of your organization's capacity. It's too much time, and for a board that big, they often won't have the commitment to make the time available to make it happen. That said, some board members do provide vital insights. There may be 1 or 2, or maybe even 4 or 5, who contribute regularly to the thinking and insight that drives your organization. In most cases, these folks are very interested in contributing and would be more than willing to put in the time and energy to be part of your reflection. Once you determine the individuals that will participate in your organizational assessment, you need to convince them that it's going to be worth the time and energy to make it worthwhile. A couple key points that you could bring up to help make the case. One is that stepping back actually turns what is often an off-the-cuff conversation about what are we doing well and what do we need to work on that can happen in 45 minutes around a conference table after a meeting's wrapped up and turn it into a much more formal conversation. It's this formal conversation that adds the structure and depth that becomes actionable. So rather than have an informal conversation that doesn't go anywhere, this is an opportunity to invest a little bit more for a lot more benefit. Stepping back as a group also helps provide a common language where you can agree together on the core areas of capacity that you want to invest in, and then refer back to that conversation over the course of the year. Rather than it being in one person's head or 2 people's task to drive forward, this is an opportunity to get the organization behind the areas that have plagued you for a long time and that are necessary to improve to take your performance to the next level. It's definitely an investment. It's a real commitment, but it has a real payoff. Organizations that I've spoken to have said that stepping back and assessing their capacity was essential. In some cases, it caused them to change their strategy and think differently given the strengths they had and the gaps in capacity that they had. In other situations, it caused them to slow down and perhaps put some of those new initiatives on the shelf. And still others have used their capacity assessment to have a dialogue with their funders, to address the things that are holding them back, and to finally have a conversation about the investments they need to not just keep the programs running for the next year, but to take their operations and their impact to the next level. In this course, we will be using McKinsey's Organizational Capacity Assessment Tool, the OCAT, as a device to help you and your organization step back and reflect on your capacity. The OCAT has been designed to provide a common set of terms and vocabulary, as well as the space for you to work with your leadership and others in your organization to have those tough conversations about where we are and where we're going. In our next video, we'll spend some time talking about the background of the OCAT and sharing with you the steps to complete the OCAT as part of this course.